and a beautiful, peaceful day to all of you out there, my friends. We're here studying the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and today we're going to be studying lesson 121, 121, Forgiveness is the Key to Happiness. And let me tell you, I'm in it today. This lesson served me up with a spoonful of my own medicine like no other. I feel really stuck in a place. And so as I was reading the Ken Wapnick extremely long explanation for this lesson, which rightly so, this is a very deep teaching on forgiveness. Obviously, it's in the title, but it also reflects on how clever the ego is and how we project what's inside of us onto other people. And we know for sure it's them and not us. So it's the same theme that keeps getting repeated, but it's coming up in me today. And I think in part because I'm making these videos and I can share exactly what I'm going through and the maturations of like my process and how I'm trying to move through this. But I do feel a little stuck. So let's pray for each other today. Let's call on all of our guides and teachers and Jesus and the Holy Spirit to be able to show us the errors of our own thinking, and that we can stop blaming our brothers and sisters and stop pointing our fingers outside of us all the time. It's really time for us to evolve and become spiritually mature, spiritually intelligent. You know, it's like we're moving beyond emotional intelligence. All right, let's jump into the lesson and see what unfolds for you today. Good luck to you with this one. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Here is the answer to your search for peace. Here is the key to meaning in a world that seems to make no sense. Here is the way to safety in apparent dangers that appear to threaten you at every turn and bring uncertainty to all your hopes and ever finding quietness and peace. To all your hopes of ever finding quietness and peace. Here are all questions answered. Here the end of all uncertainty ensured at last. The unforgiving mind is full of fear and offers love no room to be itself, no place where it can spread its wings in peace and soar above the turmoil of the world. The unforgiving mind is sad, without the hope of respite and release from pain. It suffers and abides in misery, peering about in darkness, seeing not, yet certain of the danger lurking there. Paranoia. The unforgiving mind is torn with doubt, confused about itself and all it sees, afraid and angry, weak and blustering, afraid to go ahead, afraid to stay, afraid to waken or to go to sleep, afraid of every sound, yet more afraid of stillness. Terrified of darkness, yet more terrified at the approach of light. What can the unforgiving mind perceive but its damnation? What can it behold except the proof that all its sins are real? The unforgiving mind sees no mistakes but only sins. It looks upon the world with sightless eyes and shrieks as it beholds its own projections rising to attack its miserable parody of life. It wants to live, yet wishes it were dead. It wants forgiveness, yet sees no hope. It wants escape, yet can conceive of none, because it sees the sinful everywhere. The unforgiving mind is in despair, without the prospect of a future which can offer anything but more despair. Yet it regards its judgment of the world as irreversible, and does not see it has condemned itself to this despair. That's the blind spot, that's the veil. It thinks it cannot change, for what it sees bears witness that its judgment is correct, of course. It does not ask because it thinks it knows. It does not question, certain it is right. Forgiveness is acquired. It is not inherent in the mind, which cannot sin. As sin is an idea you taught yourself, forgiveness must be learned by you as well, but from a teacher other than yourself, who represents the other self in you. Through him, you can learn how to forgive the self you think you made and let it disappear. Thus you return your mind as one to him who is yourself and who can never sin. Each unforgiving mind presents you with an opportunity to teach your own how to forgive itself. Powerful. Each one awaits release from hell through you and turns to you imploringly for heaven here and now. It has no hope, but you become its hope. And as its hope, do you become your own. The unforgiving mind must learn through your forgiveness that it has been saved from hell. And as you teach salvation, you will learn. Yet all your teaching and your learning will not be of you, but of the teacher who was given you to show the way to you. Today we practice learning to forgive. If you are willing, you can learn today to take the key to happiness and use it on your own behalf. We will then devote 10 minutes in the morning and at night another 10 to learning how to give forgiveness and receive forgiveness too. Good point. It's not just about us giving and going through the motions. We actually have to learn how to receive forgiveness. The unforgiving mind does not believe that giving and receiving are the same. Yet we will try to learn today that they are one through practicing forgiveness toward one whom you think of as an enemy and one whom you consider as a friend. This meditation was so powerful and so freaking hard to do. I was having such a hard time. I was wanting to grab my phone, go get some caffeinated drink, smoke some weed. Like, I wanted to do anything to not do this meditation. So that just shows you how much we need these things. Anytime you start to sit down and do your practice and you get 17 urges to go do all these different things to make your body feel something different or distract your mind, you know that whatever you're avoiding is your medicine. And as you learn to see them both as one, your friend and your enemy, that is, we will extend the lesson to yourself and see that their escape included yours. Begin the longer practice periods by thinking of someone you do not like, who seems to irritate you, or to cause regret in you if you should meet him, one you actively despise or merely try to overlook. It does not matter what the form your anger takes. You probably have chosen him already. He will do. Or she. Okay. Now close your eyes and see him in your mind and look at him a while. Try to perceive some light in him somewhere, a little gleam which you had never noticed. Try to find some little spark of brightness shining through the ugly picture that you hold of him. Look at this picture till you see a light somewhere within it, and then try to let this light extend until it covers him and makes the picture beautiful and good. Look at this changed perception for a while and turn your mind to one you call a friend. Try to transfer light you learned to see around your former enemy to him. So the enemy person is transferring their light onto the person you see as a friend, and you're an observer during this. Perceive him now as more than friend to you, for in that light his holiness shows you your Savior, saved and saving, healed and whole. Then let him offer you the light you see in him, and let your enemy and friend unite in blessing you with what you gave. Now are you one with them and they with you. So in this meditation, essentially, this person who triggers the shit out of you, you look at them until you see light in them. And then you conjure up the image of a person who you consider a friend. And then your enemy person transfers light to the friend person. And then the friend person transfers light to you. And then you become this sort of continuous light transference to each other. And you kind of like meld into this oneness state together. Now you have been forgiven by yourself. Do not forget throughout the day the role forgiveness plays in bringing happiness to every unforgiving mind, with yours among them. Every hour tell yourself, forgiveness is the key to happiness. I will awaken from the dream that I am mortal, fallible, and full of sin, and know I am the perfect Son of God. So you guys, this teaching is like the opposite of the Bible, in my opinion. Like everything that I ever learned from participating in Christianity to the extent that I did, it was always saying to me at some level, you're just not good enough. You have to give your life over to Jesus in order to be worth God's blessings and time and forgiveness and all that. So I love how this lesson about forgiveness is really digging into whatever our programming was from organized formal religions and anything that we took part in. This is picking that apart, and it's so awesome. So yeah, there's a person in my life, I'm going to be careful, I'm not going to say he or she, I'm not going to say anything. There's a person in my life who is, on my shit list, right? And this person is older than me and not a relative, and has some habits that make me want to scream. And I think of this person compassionately because my opinion is that this person is going through a decline in just mental faculty and and is doing these behaviors that make me want to scream because they literally can't remember. And it's hard for me to have compassion for this person, and I feel guilty. So this is the whole cycle. First of all, that I'm imagining that this person is outside of me and that it isn't just a concept in my mind of my own condition, but that I'm carrying a little weight of guilt around about feeling this way. And here's the other complicated thing, being a Course in Miracles student, and I've been through the lessons several times and, read the manual for teachers, read most of the text. I feel guilty because I'm not powerful enough or awake enough so that my energy transfers to this person and heals them without me having to have difficult conversations with them or share my concerns. See, like this is so good. Be honest with yourself and do the exercise today. Do them twice, do them many times. This is so good. So I gotta reach down here. I'm gonna grab Ken Wapnick's distillation of some of the concepts here in this lesson. So powerful. Don't let yourself off the hook. Don't keep believing in the illusion of there's other people and you're better than them. You're smarter than them. You're more spiritual than them. You know the answers. Oh, you can diagnose all their bullshit. In this very, very quantum technical field of holographic reality and projection, that person and everything you've diagnosed them with is a part of you. It's a part of your mind that you are so disgusted with or, you want to run away from that you actually believe it's not in your head. It's crazy. And I know some of you are dealing with like people who are violent or addicts or, like you're dealing with some serious shit. And it's hard for you to imagine that is in you somehow, but it is. Maybe not the exact literal lift and, cut and paste into your life. Like, okay, Sherry, I'm not addicted to whatever, heroin. You're not. But that behavior of doing a lot of heroin is an effect. The cause is the thing that you share with that person. That feeling that makes them do that behavior that you judge. Okay, so I'll just read a couple excerpts in here. The whole thing is so good. It's literally 9 full pages of Ken's distillation, and it's excellent. It's so excellent. All right, let's see here. I'll just read a couple passages. He actually pulls from the text and has his own thoughts, but then he uses the text to sort of really build the foundation for where he's coming from on his explanation of these lessons. To see a guilty world is but the sign your learning has been guided by the world, and you behold it as you see yourself. When you see the guilty world. So this isn't just the people in your life, but this is the political system, the education system, formalized, organized religion, the banking system, all the things that you shake your finger at and say, oh no, that's not good. You see yourself. The concept of the self embraces all you look upon, and nothing is outside of this perception. If you can be hurt by anything, you see a picture of your secret wishes. Ugh, nobody wants to believe that. Jesus. Nothing more than this. And in your suffering of any kind, you see your own concealed desire to kill. The unforgiving mind wishes it were dead because the pain here is so extraordinary. Yet what is truly extraordinary is how craftily we defend our pain. No longer in heaven, we exist in terror and agony in this world. Even worse, we believe we are here because we believe we destroyed heaven, which means not only that we are not at home, but there is no longer any home to which we can return. That is huge. And it sounds like made up, but that is the thing. That's the thing. We think we destroyed heaven. We think we abandoned God. We attacked God. Like, our guilt is so heavy and so hidden that we overlook this point. And I think it's so true. We are thus forever condemned to wander this world as aliens, knowing we do not belong, but not knowing where to go. How terrible is that? That's our condition. That is when death appears preferable. I mentioned that the first part of lesson 182, which we haven't gotten to yet, I will be still an instant and go home, provides a wonderful account of how terrible we feel believing we are here. Implicit in this is Jesus telling us not to pretend we are happy to be here. True happiness comes from realizing it cannot be found here, but that there is a way to return to it. It is a joy to learn the world is a dream, and that there is indeed a way to awaken from its suffering and pain. So our forgiveness practice, if I still have anybody, I know attention spans, and this is a hard lesson. We're 17 minutes in. Oh my God. Yeah, I can only imagine. If you're still here, this is so important. Forgiveness. And realizing that we've made this up. I know a lot of other belief systems say that this world is real, so they never get into these ideas of projection and guilt and the need for forgiveness in our lives, a practice of forgiveness. So take heed, everybody. This is where it really starts to get hard. This number, we're in 121 right now and moving forward. It's just taken as a fact that we're carrying around all this guilt. We're projecting everything onto everyone, and we are in complete denial that we are making up the world and that we are doing all this projection. We're in complete denial of it. We want to spend a lot of time intellectualizing and proving how right we are about so-and-so, or about this organization or this agency, or, the COVID vaccine, right? We know everything. We're so damn smart. But yet we can't pull our heads out of our own asses when it comes to the guilt that we're carrying and the amount of judgment that we're doing. Wake up to it. I mean, so back to my story, to the best of my ability, what I'm doing is I wrote a lot about it this morning after I did the lesson and the meditation, and I'm trying to put it in a little space in my mind and have it all as like a crumpled up piece of paper. Like I wrote something and then I didn't like it and I threw it in the corner, and I see it and it's like, I know that it's there. And the concept of letting it go, I'm working on, but I just know that it's there. And I know that it's something that has to do with me that I don't quite understand yet. So I'm okay that I have this crumpled up piece of paper thrown off in the corner. Because if I don't figure that out in this situation, this exact same scenario will happen with another person. And I anticipate that because it's dealing with fear of death and an elderly person, that my whole big, I'm going to go spend time with my aunt who is older than this person that I'm irritated with, all this shit is going to come right back into my lap once again with whatever I haven't been able to deal with. And it's so convoluted that I can't quite make a direct, what is it exactly that's in my mind that's making me project this out and experience these feelings coming from experiences with this person. It's not so clear to me, but I know what is clear to me is that forgiveness, love, peace, joy, these are the things that I want to be my lifestyle. I don't care about anything else. So I think that I'm not able to let it go with this person completely, because when I see them, I'm reminded of these things and I'm trying, compassion, love. Fuck that. Like, it's too hard. What we need to focus on is our forgiveness practice with everyone all the time. If there's that one thing that's too hard to handle and you can't solve it in the moment and you feel like it's never going to end, okay, let it go. Let it go temporarily. Let it be that crumpled up piece of garbage that's over on the corner. You're like, okay, I know it's there. I'm not going to deny that it's there, but I don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to just make it go away because I know it will reappear in another form in my future. So I need to be serious about my own forgiveness of myself and the developing a practice of, feeling love and knowing that love is truth. Love is God. Love is. And we need to immerse ourselves in this energy as we continue to move through these challenges, because we may not be able to figure it out on the human level, because it's all about bodies. Again, here we go with this carcass that we're animating because our spirit is in it. As soon as it leaves, so does all this drama. But there's this part of us that needs love. And I don't know where it is in myself. I don't know what it's called. I don't know where it is. I don't know why it's there, other than, trusting what the Course says is I feel guilty because I abandoned God and I destroyed heaven. How do I fix that? I don't know. But I do know that I'm not going to quit. I'm never going to give up. I'm always going to love more. I'm always going to push farther. I'm always going to be honest with myself and my awareness and try my best to be honest with other people. Because sometimes it's uncomfortable to say things like, I want to diagnose you with something, or I'm observing a habit or a pattern of yours, and I feel like it's connected to, eventually your mental decline and your death. Like, how do you have those conversations? I don't know. I'm not that savvy yet with life and with, creating space for stuff like that. But I'm learning. I'm a perpetual student, and I know that I'm on a path that's teaching me more than I've ever learned in anywhere else. So I'm just in surrender and trust and letting the emotions flow through, knowing that I may not feel giddy and comfortable and super great all the time, but I can let it pass through me and know that I'm doing my absolute best to get the real juice out of the squeeze of this life, even in these uncomfortable moments. And I hope you are too. So enjoy this lesson today. And dig in, push hard, see those people, do those meditations and see that person that's like, "Arr!" See the light coming from them into your friend, and then that light enveloping you. It's not easy. I hope you can do it. All right. I love you all very much. Have a great day today, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.